Hey guys, today I'm just going to show you guys how to get your Demon Hunter up to 200 DPS, or around there, pretty close. I think mine's 198 K right now. But yeah, 200k DPS. I'm just going to show you guys my gear here. That's the bow I use. As you see, it's just, I got a lot of crit damage on it. It's got the natural crit. So when I'm looking for a bow here, I look for a natural crit damage with an empty socket, or with an emerald inside, but I usually put my own because I get the higher DPS. And I look for a little bit of dex and just high damage, really. But you can probably get a cheaper one. Like, I've had 160k DPS with a bow with only 800 DPS on it. So you can get cheaper ones than that. That's pretty expensive. But if you have the money, why not? And this right here, I just have high DPS, or a high dexterity, and the movement speed. Those again are quite expensive, like a couple $1,000,000 probably. But if you're lucky, you can find them cheaper, or you can just like get lower dexterity ones, which are actually pretty ideal. Like my last ones, I didn't pay much, and they had like 200 dexterity and the movement speed. So you can get those, and I mean, there's a couple other ones like here. I have some of my stash here. Like there's a Shear's Lock. They're not too expensive, and you can get them with the attack speed, but they're bugged right now, right? Their attack speed doesn't work, but Blizzard's going to fix that soon, so I keep them in my stash. See, if you look at attacks per second there, it's supposed to increase, right, with the attack speed, but it doesn't. So yeah, it's a bug right there, so I don't wear them right now. Keep it in my stash. Same with Endless Glory for pants. But yeah, the pants are just again, high dexterity. You can't beat just raw damage with dexterity. This is almost the same thing. It's I got just a ton of dexterity. I got over 200 dexterity on this thing, so just look for open socket and high dexterity. But I always like having the hatred regeneration on there too. I mean, that's key for when you're fighting those bosses and the elite packs and stuff like that. And yeah, you can get better ones than this. This is actually, like, I have ones in my stash which gives me max discipline, crit chance and stuff like that. But right now, I just wanted the max. If you want your damage higher, just max dexterity, really. If you get crit chance on there too, that's even a bonus. These ones too, it's just I go for my rings there. High dex. It's got a little bit of raw damage there. And crit hit damage is 25, so it's got lots of crit. This one, I actually went with crit chance and attack speed, just because I didn't want too much, crit chance there. So the attack speed actually helped me, help my DPS go up. And again, the raw damage, the high dex. And here, it's the classic. You go. I think I might actually have better gloves than that somewhere. But yeah, high dex. Mine aren't that high dex. You can get higher ones, but these are cheap. The attack speed and the crit damage, you can get these fairly cheap. Like, and they help your DPS quite a bit. Shoulders. There's not really any great shoulders out there for Demon Hunters. So I just went for the high dex. You can get chance to, I think chance to freeze or chance to immobilize on there, but I don't know. I don't think it's worth the money. That 1% or 2%. For helmet and Dariel's Visage, it's unbeatable for Demon Hunters in my opinion. It's got the attack speed, it's got the crit chance, it's got the high dex, it's got everything. I mean, it's expensive, but I think it's worth it in the long run. My belt's actually super cheap. You guys will enjoy this. Anyone can get this belt for friggin' 30k or something like that. It's got it's not everyone likes it, but I love it for the crit and the attack speed, and it's got a little bit of dex. I mean, it doesn't have high dex, but you can also go with a high dex belt. You know what? I'm gonna show you guys. I don't have a super high dex belt, but I think I have one that has like 100 in there, and this cheap belt actually helps me more. There we go, 137 dex, and actually makes my damage go down. But like I said, you guys can probably get a higher dex belt than that, and probably be more beneficial. I just like that one. I don't know. I like the legendary on there. And these bracers are actually, there's a couple decent bracers for them, but I like the movement speed and the attack speed. And I mean, you can get really high dex ones, but they're friggin' insanely expensive, and I can't even afford them. And money comes pretty easy to me usually. But yeah, those even these were pretty expensive. But again, if you can't afford something like this, there's a few other options you have, and you can get high dex ones, like pretty high dex ones. They'll help you, not as much as this probably, but you don't need the movement speed and stuff like that always. But I don't know, I just like them. So if you can afford them, grab those, but higher dex. This is the same. You can get these for, I don't know, one or 2 million probably. When I got them, I actually lucked out. I bought this for like 200K. Someone didn't know the worth of it, I guess. And I like the hatred regen on it, and the attack speed is unbeatable. And the crit chance is always an added bonus. Plus a lot of decks on there. And yeah, if you're a vitality kind of guy, which most demon hunters are not, I don't. I throw dex or vitality out of the window, like as you see. I mean, I get hit, I'm done. But I like that style of play. But if you like that, the 3% life is always good. And this, I usually go for, you can get cheaper ones than this, a lot cheaper. You can get like, I think my last one's like, it was like 150 dex plus 40 crit damage on it. And it cost me like 30K, it was nothing. But this one's a little more expensive. But yeah, I go for dex and crit damage. If you can get attack speed on there too, like that's even better. But those are like godly and super expensive. And yeah, I think that's all my gear there. And show you guys my stats real quick. There we go. All my stats for you guys. It's, I got lots of crit damage. And I'll show you my stats real quick without sharpshooter. Hey, that's what I use to kill. Actually, when I kill Diablo, when I farm Diablo, I usually put on tactical, so it brings my DPS down to 165. But I mean, my real DPS is actually without that. There we go. It's only 63, but I mean, I can kill Osmodan in like 12 seconds or something like that. So, I mean, with sharpshooter on, it actually does make the difference. A lot of people say, oh, it's not your real DPS, but I mean, I know it's not that your real DPS there, but sharpshooter makes a huge difference. I can't go without it. But anyway, that's my gear. I'll cut the video short here, and cheers, guys.